Hello and welcome to It's About Rugby League. The season's nearly here, finally, and we're going to make our predictions now for the first round of Super League 2020, and it all starts on Thursday night when Warrington go to Wigan. Jack, what are you expecting?
I just can't wait. I'm just buzzing to get back involved with it. You know, we've had a couple of months off now, and I've been itching to watch some rugby, and I've even found myself watching the odd bit of rugby union or football, which I know it's a weird one. But I think it'll be a really good game. I think of occasions to kick the season off, Wigan and Warrington's a brilliant one to put on as the Thursday night game. So they both recruited well, obviously. Some big name signings for each, but for me it'll be Wigan. I think we'll pip it. I think their squad on paper that they've named is looking a bit stronger. Not by much, but does look stronger. I think they finished last year in much better vein of form than Warrington did. I just think the overall quality on that field for Wigan will eventually excel and lead them to that first win.
Wigan by how many?
Oh, Wigan by how many? If I was to go on a whim, I would probably say Wigan by 16. I'm going to go 16. I think.
Wow.
I think it'll be a tight battle up until sort of midway through the second half. I think Wigan might run away with it in the latter stages.
Right, well, we'll do a little kind of Ben versus Jack prediction thing.
Right.
So that's why I was getting kind of how far you were going with that prediction. I think that the Gareth Widdop situation, whether he plays or whether he doesn't, is quite big. But I think what we're hearing is probably not. He's not really been out on the training field and managed to kind of work on those combinations, especially in the arse with Blake Austin. So it's looking like Matty Ashton at fullback and Ratchford and Austin in the halves.
Very possibly.
I look at Wigan and I think they're probably going to win in that area, you know. Especially Jackson Hastings making his debut at home. There'll be a good crowd there. I have to agree. I think Wigan will win. I don't think it'll be by 16. No, I think it'll be a lot tighter. I'm probably going to go. I think Wigan by 6.
By 6.
Yeah, by 6. So a bit of a 10-point difference there in our predictions, but.
Aye.
We'll somehow work out who's so whoever's closest.
We'll sort it.
Yeah, so... Well, if Warrington win, then I win this. We'll move on to Friday night now, and the champions St Helens first Salford in repeat of that grand final from last year.
I know, yeah.
You see, you're down to go, but I'm actually going to come in with my prediction first. So we'll make it fair. We'll go take it in turns and who goes first. I'm going to go for a Saints win, unsurprisingly. I do think Salford have recruited well. I do think they'll do a lot better than what people think. I like Kevin Brown. I think he's coming in there. And I think he'll marshal that side around the park quite well. Saints have not signed anybody, but they do have a new coach. They're at home. Yeah. And that team that was so dominant last year, that won the league by 16 points... I think, like the grand final last year, I think they'll probably beat Salford by 3 scores. So I'm probably going to go Saints by 18. Jack?
I really hope, just first and foremost, it's not an underwhelming contest. I really hope Salford do get stuck in and really push Saints and test them. Because I think with the amount of changes Salford have seen in terms of personnel in the off-season, they might struggle against a team like Saints who haven't really lost many players, haven't gained anyone, but have very much got the same squad as last year and are likely to put out similar, if not the same squad as they did in that grand final. So again, I'm going to have Saints by 18. I'm going to say.
That's what I just said.
Oh, did you say Saints by 18?
Sorry. Exactly.
No, I won't go exactly then. I'll go Saints by 20. I'll go 2 points extra.
That's good tactics.
I think Saints might again just run away with it. I hope they don't, because I'd love to see that be a really tight contest. But I think Saints have got too much quality and too much consistency and continuity in their squad.
Yeah, I think that's a nail on the head there. I think it's that consistency with the Saints team, and especially the line-up, and they're not going to take any time to gel together, either. So
no, exactly.
I think we're in agreement on that one. We come also on Friday night, actually, is Hull KR, and they're facing Wakefield. Now, this is a particularly interesting game. Yeah. They've already played each other in pre-season, which is quite strange, but I think both coaches will have been trying out different combinations in that game, so I don't think I'll have any bearing on this match coming up. This is at Craven Park.
It is, yeah. I think this is probably the toughest to predict of the whole round, if I'm honest. You've got two teams that were down at the bottom of the table last season. Have made a few signings. Well, I say a few. KR have made 20 signings over the winter, and they've both got they're very similar in the fact that in pre-season they've not had the greatest of records. Again, there's only so much you can take from pre-season, but Wakey have lost 2 and won that one game. I'm not sure how many. I think KR have lost all their pre-season games, so it's going to a new season. It doesn't look too positive for either side. However, on judging it by what happened in pre-season between the two clubs, I'm probably going to go Wakey. Right. Just though, I think it'll be a low scoring game. I think similar to what the pre-season fixture was. So I'm going to go Wakey by 10. Wakefield by 10. I think it'll just have the edge. As I mentioned, Hull KR have got a new team that are all still trying to gel together and develop that chemistry, whereas Wakefield have made a few little signings here and there, but still have that sort of overall culture and a lot of players who are familiar playing with each other. So I think that might just edge it for Wakey. I'm gonna disagree with you. You're gonna go Hull KR? Yeah, I just feel that with the talk about Hull KR, I know that they're the bookies' favourites to be relegated, and everybody's saying, they've bought like quantity over quality, but I just think with everybody talking them down, I just think they're going to have that motivation. I think the way Tony Smith was talking the other day, I think he's speaking in a manner of, we're going to prove people wrong. Yeah. I think Wakefield have got a lot of injuries in the forward, so I'm going to go KR by 2. Oh, yeah, I think it'll be a really tight encounter, but I think KR will edge it. And we'll move on to Saturday actually now, and we go over to France, which is going to be interesting. We'll probably have a bit of an increased audience on that game, particularly if Israel Folau features. Now, Catalans host Huddersfield in this first game. I know that you're particularly talking up Huddersfield this season, and I'm with you. I think Huddersfield have recruited well. We're all looking at Aidan Caesar. I think, I just think he's a fantastic signing to go from the NRL Grand Final into Super League, and to Huddersfield, who really just needed this star signing just to really get some excitement around the club. I mean, it's an interesting game. Obviously, James Maloney will make his debut. Yeah. You got the Tompkins brothers in there. I think, it's another difficult one to call, but I just think with home advantage, I think Catalans have recruited really, really well, and I think it'll be a tight game, but I'm going to go for Catalans by 8 points, I think. No, I'm going to disagree with you there. Like you said, I've been talking up Huddersfield. I think they look very sharp in pre-season and focused a lot on their defence. They focused a lot on defence in pre-season and looked solid against Wakefield a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to Huddersfield. I'm going to Huddersfield by 8. No, by 6 maybe I'll say. Right. I'll go by 6. I think again it'll be a tight contest. You mentioned the home advantage for Catalans, but I think one thing that you find with a lot of teams is how they do in the south of France depends on how they travel. And I know for a fact that Huddersfield this time are, as opposed to flying at stupid o'clock in the morning on the day of the game and going on that evening, I think they're going out on the either Thursday or Friday, spend a day in Perpignan to get used to the conditions, acclimatise a little bit, and then playing the game and going home Sunday evening. So I think the fact that they're taking that preparation so seriously, going out and readying themselves for such a big game and on the opening weekend, I think they'll be good for that. And I think that I think Huddersfield by 6. I think they look too good to lose that first game. Right, interesting. So we've differed on 2. It'll be interesting to see what happens on Sunday, which could decide this. And the first game of that double header at Headingley, we'll see Toronto face Castleford. Now it's a sellout. It's going to be a great occasion. Who do you see winning that first game? Again, I think like you mentioned, the occasion's going to be superb. The atmosphere at Headingley is going to be absolutely bouncing. 3 and a bit sets of fans, I guess. I don't know how Toronto are going to travel, but they've certainly got a UK contingent that'll support them. I think it's going to be such a good day. Just a great day of rugby altogether, and a great celebration of the new season. In terms of the game, I think Castleford will pip it. Again, I think Toronto will be up for it so much, being their first Super League fixture ever as a club. They've got Sonny Bill Williams, who's hopefully going to make his first appearance for the club, and they've obviously signed a couple of other solid Super League players as well. So I think Toronto will probably push Castleford close, but I think the Tigers have just got. Darryl Powell, we know what he's like as a coach. We know what he demands of his teams, and the players they've got in there. The new halfback combination of Jake Truman and Danny Richardson, but as well as the old stages, the old heads, Grant Millington, Michael Shenton, guys like that. I think Castle just have too much in the end, so I'm going to go Cast by 12. I think 2 tries in it.
Interesting. I know you went to the pre-season game, didn't you?
I did indeed.
Castle for Toronto.
Where Toronto picked it.
How were both teams? How strong were they?
I think it was a very close game, and it wasn't one that was encouraging expansive rugby because of the pitch and because of the conditions.
Right.
And I think Toronto probably, I think it's fair to say, won the forward battle.
Right.
And that's what eventually contributed
were
to
both
them,
teams full strength there?
They were and they weren't. I think both teams had a few key players missing. Sonny Bill didn't play for Toronto, and there were 1 or 2 others. For Castleford, I can't think off the top of my head. They had there were no Liam Watts, and we know how big he is for their pack going forward. So I think because it was pre-season, you say that rugby league players always take every game seriously, which they definitely do. But I think with it being the first Super League fixture, that'll just be a bit of an extra motivation for Castleford to get this win out of the way. So I think Castleford will just manage to overcome Toronto.
Well, thanks for that piece of information. I'm going to base my prediction on that now.
Right. Fair enough.
I'm actually, I think Castleford, Liam Watts is huge for them. So if he comes back in, I can see them winning the forward battle, especially with those experienced names that you mentioned. I think I'll probably go Castleford by 14.
Right.
I think Castleford might win this quite comfortably. There'll be a lot of talk about the Wolf Pack, but I just think Castleford, the Super League experience, I just feel that they'll be eager, and that young halfback partnership I think could thrive, especially if the headingley pitch is in good condition. So I'm going to go Castleford quite convincingly on that one. And that brings us to the final game of the weekend, and another interesting one, also at Headingley, the second part of that double header. Leeds taking on Hull FC. Now, both teams have recruited reasonably well, I think. Hull a bit more heavier than Leeds, but just that sellout crowd. Luke Gale playing in, will be eager to prove himself. He's got a point to prove. I fancy Leeds, I really do, on home turf. I think Richard Agar, obviously against former Hull FC coach, I think he'll be eager to get one over on his old club, and I just think, like I say, with home advantage, and I just think Luke Gale, I can just see it now, Luke Gale, man of the match, Leeds by 10, that's what I think.
Leeds by 10?
Yeah.
Now see, I'm going to go much closer. I think Leeds might just take it.
Right.
As you mentioned, I think we've got 2 very evenly matched teams, both with good promising halfback combinations, decent forward packs, impressive outside backs. I think that you look at all sort of the individual battles across the field, and they're all very similar. But I think it'll be tight right until the last minute. So I'm going to go Leeds by 2.
Wow.
I'm going to say there's going to be either a late drop goal or a late penalty goal by one of the teams.
Brad Dwyer.
Brad Dwyer again, you never know. But I think Luke Gale, I think it's just sort of written in the stars for Luke Gale to have that magic moment of just winning the game late on with a drop goal or with just a piece of individual magic in front of the fans that he grew up being a part of. He was a Leeds fan as a young lad and came through the academy before moving on. And I just, like I said, I think it's just written for him to do something special on that day. So I'm going to go Leeds by 2.
I think it could be quite interesting as well, just finally. Obviously, Leeds were reportedly in for Jake Corner last year, and now he's got that number 6 shirt at Hull. I mean, he'll go
so
up
many little subplots in that game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens, not just in that game, but the whole weekend. It's finally back, guys. Super League is back. Leave your predictions in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.